Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Dallas Cowboys will McClay named to watch in Jets general manager search. With ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reporting that the New York Jets intend to cast a wide net when it comes to their general manager and coaching search, the expectation is that New York will be speaking to a lot of potential candidates when the season ends. Many believe that owner Woody Johnson will hire a general manager first. If so, ESPN Jets insider Rich Cimini said on his Flight Deck podcast that Dallas Cowboys Vice President of Player Personnel Will McClay is a name to watch. In Dallas, owner and general manager Jerry Jones makes the decisions on draft day. But McClay is the man that gathers all of the information so that Jones can make those decisions. His NFL experience is deeply rooted in player evaluation. He joined the Cowboys in 2002 as a pro scout and worked his way up from there. He became the franchise's pro scouting coordinator in 2009 and then the director of football research in 2011. During his early days with the Cowboys, he did double duty with the Arena Football League's Dallas Desperados. He was a defensive coordinator and later the team's head coach for 5 years, where he was named the AFL Coach of the Year in 2006. He was also a 3-time AFL champion as a player. The direction of his career with the Cowboys changed in 2014 when he was promoted to Assistant Director of Player Personnel after Dallas absorbed criticism about its draft process. He oversaw the Cowboys' draft work and set the team's big board. He was later named the Senior Director of Pro/College Scouting before he was promoted to Vice President. He's well respected for his personnel acumen, but his job description has widened to a role in free agency and in trade acquisitions. Other NFL teams have noticed and he's been in demand for job interviews the past few years. Last year at least 2 teams wanted to talk with McClay about their job. But he actually turned down those requests to stay with Dallas. Perfect wide receiver upgrade lands in Cowboys' lap thanks to surprise release. The Dallas Cowboys do not have any firepower at the wide receiver position outside of CeeDee Lamb. It's gotten to the point where Cowboys fans only want Cooper Rush to throw to Lamb and tight end Jake Ferguson. Lamb and Ferguson are the only dynamic pass catchers on the roster. While Brandon Cooks has 2 touchdowns in as many games since coming off injured reserve, he isn't the deep threat he was in his prime and struggles creating separation on intermediate routes. The fan base has also seen enough of Jalen Tolbert. The former 3rd-round pick caught the game-winning touchdown against the Steelers and has come up with big catches here and there, but the consistency is not where it needs to be. His 58.6 receiving grade is 90th among 98 qualified receivers, per PFF. At this point, the Cowboys should have an eye on 2025. Less Tolbert and more Jonathan Mingo and Ryan Fleroy would be ideal. Additionally, the front office should be scouring the waiver wire for potential depth options for next year. One has suddenly fallen into their laps thanks to an AFC team. The New England Patriots and KJ Osborne mutually agreed to part ways on Tuesday. Osborne was a healthy scratch in 4 of the last 5 games before his release. The 27-year-old had expressed frustration with his role and now has the opportunity to latch on with another team for the final 4 weeks. Osborne signed a 1-year, $4 million contract in March with the hope of stepping into a prominent role in a young WR room. With the Patriots going young at the position and handing the keys of the offense to number 2 overall pick Drake May mid-season, Osborne found himself on the outskirts of the offense. Osborne knows he has more to contribute. A 5th-round pick of the Vikings in 2020, Osborne established himself as a consistent 3rd option with Minnesota. He broke out in 2021 with 50 catches for 655 yards and 7 TDs and proved that wasn't a mirage by catching 108 passes for 1,190 yards and 8 scores over the next 2 seasons. The 5th-year pro has reliable hands and is willing to do the dirty work as a blocker. He's an adequate depth option with upside. Cooks won't be back in 2025, and it stands to reason Jalen Tolbert will follow Cooks out the door. Mingo and Flournoy will be on the roster next year, but neither player should be any higher than 4th on the depth chart going into the offseason. Assuming Dallas finds Lamb's sidekick in the draft or free agency, Osborne could potentially slot into the WR3 role. That obviously hinges on Osborne showing something in the final 4 games, but it's worth a shot. The former Miami Hurricane is better than any WR on the roster not named CeeDee Lamb. Cowboys urged to offer $125 million contract for new head coach. The Dallas Cowboys are facing mounting pressure to make changes amid a disappointing 2024 season. With a 5-8 record and ranking 3rd in the NFC East, conversations surrounding the future of head coach Mike McCarthy have intensified. McCarthy, who led the Cowboys to 3 consecutive 12-5 seasons from 2021 to 2023, has struggled to maintain success in a season riddled with injuries and underwhelming performances. ESPN analyst Bill Barnwell recently shared a bold vision for fixing the Cowboys in 2025, which includes firing McCarthy and making an unprecedented move to secure Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Barnwell suggests offering Johnson a staggering 5-year contract of $125 million, arguing it could rejuvenate Dallas' offense and help the team return to playoff contention. Johnson's work as the offensive coordinator in Detroit has been impeccable, Barnwell said. Under Johnson's leadership, the Lions' offense has been a dominant force, ranking 1st in points per game, 32.1, and 2nd in total yards, 394.8. The Lions are currently 12-1, leading the NFC and building on last year's NFC Championship appearance. Dallas' struggles in 2024 have centered on inconsistent offensive production, particularly following quarterback Dak Prescott's season-ending injury. Barnwell believes Johnson's creative play calling and proven success in Detroit could be exactly what the Cowboys need. Dallas might instead need to take a bigger swing to fix its offense, Barnwell explained. The Cowboys can't subvert the salary cap, and they can't buy first-round picks, but spending on coaches is uncapped. Paying Johnson this much would represent a significant investment and probably make every other team in the league angry. Give your opinion in the comments, like and subscribe to the channel. See you in next video.